Hello dear ones, it's Alice. I'm of the stars. Today I went for a mid-morning hike, uphill hike near the freeway and also near the new wildlife bridge that's being built. Let me show you. Okay, it's Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy Zone Parkland, and it's across from the Annenberg Wildlife Crossing, which should be completed this year, it says. The trail here, it goes right steadily uphill. I guess it's around noon now, and I started around 10. And a lot of people were coming down, people who were fire zone people working, I guess, on the terrain or checking the terrain, and a hiker with his dog, and just maybe 10 people came down on my way up. And I got as far as a light way up there. It looked like it was solar powered. I noticed on the light was standing what I called a snipe bird, and one of those had been there at that time when I faced those 3 or 4 mountain lions. You remember that scary occasion some time ago? Not too close to here in the Santa Monica Mountains. And I just noted that there had been that association of the warning by the snipe bird priorly, and then the mountain lions, and this bird was completely silent. And there was a bench, and I sat there for a minute. When I got to the bench, I started to feel that there was a male mountain lion behind me, and in the dip between the place where the bench was and the next rise of the mountain, which was well wooded and probably retaining some water in a bedrock dip beneath the chaparral. So I heard the male lion, it sounded like a mature male mountain lion behind me as I faced towards the freeway down the hill, looking at the completed portion of the new wildlife bridge. It's the mountain lion crossing bridge and deer crossing bridge. It's not quite completed yet. And that made me nervous, so I got up and I turned around and watched on the other side, where the path went into a dip and then began to rise again, where it continued on where I did not go. On a laurel sumac tree there was a scrub jay, and it was sitting kind of quietly. The noise of the freeway was really overpowering even at that high elevation. And the birds tend to be quieter because it's hard to hear their voices when they talk over those loud sounds. So the scrub jay saying nothing, but I asked it very quietly, is there a mountain lion there? And it said I couldn't hear it, but I could see it moving its body in agreement with the way it was talking. You know, from the prior tape I made about limited species sparrows, you could see them on the power line, and you could see how their bodies moved as they talked. And today I could see the scrub jay body moving as it said the words, yes, mountain lion. So that gave me a heads up that there might be a mountain lion over there. That was the female mountain lion, I believe. And on the other side of the dip was the male mountain lion. I was the only person on the trail at that point because everyone else, maybe 10 people, had come back down the mountain already. And I didn't see anything, but I thought it would be time to start back right away. I would have liked to explore the light, the solar-powered light, but it was kind of closed in by chaparral, and I thought if there's a male mountain lion over there, and if it catches me in a close space, that would be strategically bad, so I just decided to go back down. Of course, you have to be very careful descending. because you don't want to slip and then present an easy mark for a mountain lion. And it seemed to me, as I descended slowly, a female mountain lion, a younger female mountain lion, was over on the other side of the trail, keeping pace with me as the male approached from the rear. I didn't see them, but I heard several times a pouncing in the underbrush, like something had suddenly pounced and then flattened part of the weeds behind the trail on either side of it. And each time that happened, I looked, but I didn't see anything. It wasn't until I got back down just above this rise that I began to relax a little, and I heard another starting in the underbrush under the chaparral on the left over here, just up that way a little way, but I think that may have been a deer or even a rabbit. Oh, and there's one other thing. I wasn't sure about the big male mountain lion and the young female mountain lion, but I got to a point of 2/3 of the way down, and a raven flew across my path and over that way, high and fast. And there was, of course, a very strong sound of the freeway, so it was hard to hear what was going on in the underbrush. But I heard the raven say something, and then telepathically I asked, you have to ask very quietly, because it draws their attention, and then there's trouble. So I asked, "Mountain lion here?" And telepathically, the raven said, right behind you. And then I did a rollback, a timeline rollback. And I heard what the raven had said as it flew across. It had said the same thing on the physical plane, right behind you. So the raven corroborated my feeling, my hunch that was what was going on. It was the male mountain lion that was taking the lead in the attack and teaching the young female how to hunt, and was explaining to her as it went along. It explained when I got too low on the trail and moving too fast for them to make a clean kill anymore. And just in retrospect, I think that the main game plan at that time was for the male to attack, but for the female to present herself on the right-hand side right before that, drawing my attention so that the male could make a clean kill by snapping my neck. I'm advising you all to avoid the mountains except in groups, not to sleep in the mountains right now. There's too many mountain lions in the mountains, and they're killing women and dragging them away, I feel, while men sleep right beside them. I feel this to be true, and if you take it to be true and don't do it, there's no harm done. But if you take it not to be true and try to prove me wrong, there might be great harm done to someone you love. So please take my advice. I beg you, take my advice for the time being and steer clear of the mountains at night. God bless you all and keep you safe, and be with you through all your days. In love, light, and joy, this is Alice B. Clagett. I am of the stars, and so are you. Come and visit me at my wonderful, world-class WordPress website, awakeningwithplanetearth.com. Bye, Mr. Mountain Lion. Sorry about that. Hope you find plenty to eat. Bye, Miss Mountain Lion. Goodbye. They're kind of grumpy. Okay, talk to you later.